Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat on the way in. The ambitions of a smaller divester, black men ain't ish, but I'm gonna couch it as kind of something else. Woman, light skin, kind of mixed-ish looking woman. Chrissy, yeah. So now you got the light skin, mixed chick saying the same thing as you, Chrissy. Anyway, so let's get into it. For those of you that checked out, I recently put two songs down that go along with the video. So for those of you that checked out the video from earlier, I think that there's two songs that are very fitting for the title of the video, right? I think they're very fitting, right? So y'all give me 1 second. Let me see here. Why is this not? Oh, there we go. Okay, it's not, and there we go. All right, all right. Yeah, come on. There we go. This, moving super slow. Anyway, okay. So there we go. And shout out to Gender War Lore, right? So we yeah. Um, why are we covering this? First, marriage rates in America are going down. And maybe I should put that's going to be the thumbnail. I actually posted the wrong thumbnail. We are going to change the thumbnail after this because this young lady doesn't know what the entire hell she's talking about. But she is signaling to black women to date out. And we don't even care about that. What we care about is the insulting by omission of black men. So all of us have heard the term lying by omission. This is insulting by omission, where she doesn't necessarily say black men's name, but she insults black men without ever saying black men, right? Which is women who are not necessarily looking to be in um relationship with black men are doing swell. They're getting married, they're getting taken off the market. But all of you black women who swear by black men, you're single, you have no prospects, right? Black men are leaving you high and dry. Black men are leaving you as single moms. Meanwhile, white women's single mother rate is skyrocketing, and it's not because of black men. Once again, black men only make up 6% of the US population. It's not because of black men, it's because of white men. Because white men aren't marrying white women either. Oops. Right? So let me get this right. Marriage rates are going down across America. That includes for the white folks that you worship, young lady. And yet what she's saying is everywhere she goes, it's white people, and white people only date for a year, and then they get married, and it's, white people are getting married left and right. And you can't disagree with her experience, right? You can't fight her experience. Well, the facts say different, ma'am. The facts say most of us are single. The facts say that the age of marriage is rising. The age of first-time marriage, excuse me, is rising. That's what the facts say. The facts say that we're having less children, right? The facts say a whole lot. Right? The facts say a whole lot, and it say different than what you are saying. Right? What is it about black women and Caribbean women, and we're still saying, who these white guys are marrying? They're marrying Nigerians. There's a whole lot to say about that. Dear Nigerian men, there's a reason why I keep on calling out Nigerians, especially the Nigerian brothers. Yeah, uh-huh. Yeah, you better than ADOS men, right? You better than ADOS people, right? Meanwhile, your women are not necessarily known to be the most loyal. Oopsie. And some of the most staunch anti-black feminist, Nigerian women, Nigerian descent women. You gotta ask yourself why. What's going on over there? Huh? What's going on over there? Your Haitian cousins just want to know, y'all all right over there? Huh? I'm just saying. Of course. And Trail Bentley says the young lady kept saying that black women aren't getting married, but in her mind, it was all Jermaine's fault. Of course. Of course, it's Jermaine's fault. Who else? Whose fault would it be? Right? And it's very, once again, don't you love it when they do the juxtaposition between us and like non-black folks and how much better non-black folks, white men, are? And then you throw in their face, by the way, the marriage rate is like plummeting amongst white folks. Their birth out of wedlock rate, and that's for the ones that are having children, is skyrocketing. Right? What are you talking about? So we continue to get this kind of propaganda from black adjacent, light skinned, mixed, racially ambiguous, Caribbean descent women like this. And I could get right with her because guess what? Mr. Z is Caribbean descent. Hi, cuz. Could you put the white peen down? Can I talk to you real quick? Why are you trying to spread this negative, false propaganda about black men? Say their name at least, please. Right? So she just, going in on ADOS men mainly, but black men in general. And it's people like this, y'all. People like this. Right? Give me a second, y'all. Okay, I'm gonna make sure I get out of his way. Yeah. So I just want y'all to like when y'all hear this, right? So y'all hear her speaking, um, and she's talking about she's babysitting or nannying or whatever she said, and she's going out with these people. She's going out and she's seeing everywhere. Well, she goes to these houses and on their fridge are all these kind of wedding invites, et cetera, right? These are her words. There's these wedding invites, and I'm like, ugh. First of all, who are you nannying for? Right? I'm sorry, y'all. My background is loud because there's this like um, older, Chevy truck behind me, and I'm like trying to kind of like get away from it so that you guys can't. But he's like literally, it's only one lane, and he's literally behind me. So I'm sorry for the background noise. Anyway, but when she nannies for so when she nannies for white folks, they're coupled up, obviously they're married, and they have all these wedding invites as magnets on their fridge. I get what she's trying to say, but that's not the case for the black people, and the black women are all single mothers. And if you want to talk about pathologizing black men, right, you want to insult black men without saying black men, well, ta-da, here you go. Right, here you go. Right. So yeah, I'm sorry, y'all, I had to get out the way of him because it was loud as hell. But yeah, so it's just insulting black men. And I want us to kind of maybe consider what it looks like, because this is a really good example of what it looks like to insult someone by omission, right? What it sounds like. And she speaks about, her black friends just refuse to be the bust downs for white men. All her black girls that refuse to be the bust downs for white men are single. Oh, I'm sorry, that's not what she said. She said all the black women that she knows that refuse to open their dating options and expand their options. They're all single. Instead of being the little experiment and plaything for some white man. Right? And Eric Deadman says she answered her own question when she said maybe it's culture. Yeah, but you know what she's trying to say. Horrible black American male culture, right? Horrible black American male culture, right? And let me ask black women this, and women in general this: do y'all have any homegirls that ain't ish? That ain't ish? That is not deserving of any relationship with any man whatsoever? You would actually warn him. if he was interested in one of your friends, because whenever you listen to these women speak, train tracks, train tracks, train tracks, it's always, I know all these beautiful women and all these gorgeous women and all these great women and all these awesome women and all these kick-ass women. And like, so y'all don't know no bummy women, no loser women, no women that have degrees and can speak well and might be intelligent but are complete and total assholes. So all women think all women are great, at least in relationship to men. God damn. We're all so kick-ass. We're all so gorgeous. We're all so, we strive and we work hard. We're all this great thing. Jesus Christ. So none of y'all are on your hard luck. No one's on their hard luck right now. No one. None of you are lazy bums. None of you are waiting for a man to save you from yourself. All of you are kick-ass. You just, the man just needs to come in and fit into your kick-ass life. What type of weirdness? And these people got the unmitigated gall to talk about hip-hop being toxic. Yeah, right. All y'all do is blow smoke up each other's ass over there. Right? Insanity. So, she talks about how kick-ass and great her friend circle is, and the black, it's black women, right? Because all these white women are getting married. Meanwhile, the marriage rate for white folks, white women, is plummeting. What are you talking about? You're just talking. The marriage rate for white folks is plummeting. It been crashed into a wall for black folks. Translation is to women. Goddamn. Then we have to ask, what class of people are you around? What's their income level? Where do you live? Et cetera, et cetera. You just make some very blanket and general statements. White folks. Which white folks? White people. Which white people? Once again, American Enterprise Institute, 26% of poor Americans are married, 39% of middle class, 56% of upper middle class and above Americans are married. Women, particularly women of color, are running into, and black women in particular, because this woman, she I guess she's black, but like Caribbean descent, etc. Looks like she might be mixed this with something, whatever. You have a whole lot of these looking like these women that look like her running around here in South Florida. But yeah, they're running into the wall of the men of their ethnic background, racial makeup, being hit upside the head with anti-blackness, racism, white hegemony. And instead of advocating for those men, they double down and say, yeah, you're right, the white man is better. Right? Instead of advocating for those men, they turn around and dogpile those men and say, you know what? Yeah, we definitely should probably date out. We definitely should not do this whole quote unquote loyalty thing with black men. Right? And all the black women I know who are holding out for quote unquote black love are all single. Listen to the world we live in, where black women who would rather not be the sexual plaything for a white man are being mocked by black and black adjacent women. Right? That's crazy talk. Because you would rather not be the sexual plaything for some white guy or some Latino guy, some Asian guy, let's be honest, a white guy, because you won't allow yourself to be his little, you know, Nubian goddess plaything for a season. Then he break up with you and go marry some white woman. Because you won't allow that to happen. You are the one who's naive. The framing of these conversations when it comes to this interracial relationship with white men is fascinating. They always act like they're doing you a favor. These people always act as if they're doing you a favor, right? So, you know, she's talking and I'm listening to her, and you know, I think I glanced down. I think Gender War Lord is saying the interesting part is that we're the, you know, black men are the one with the higher marriage rate. Well, Kim Foster has something to say about that. She says actually we're reading it wrong. But well, hers we're reading it wrong. Anyway, so yeah, black men have a higher marriage rate. That's the kicker, right? That's the kicker. Let's see if I can read this before this light turned green. And Gender Warlord says the most annoying part is that more black men are married. Why are they even hinting at us? There's never a moment of true self-reflection with them. Just projection and PR from white men for white men. Oh, hashtag resilience. I'm just saying. I swear to God, I'm gonna make it. Oh, he's gonna regret that word. Ooh, he's gonna regret that word, right? Huh. And Gender Warlord, that title is perfect, by the way. Ambitions as a swiller divester, that's hysterical. And it's always this little weird propaganda, right? All these women, you know, they're so kick ass and they're doing so well in life, and you know, it's just white man. They just need a white man in their life because clearly black men are just horrible, right? Like who needs white supremacist rhetoric when you have black women like this, or black adjacent women like this, or mixed-ish black women like this, kind of, sort of, right? Because you know white men are more serious and black men are not. White men know a good woman when they see her. Explain that lowering marriage rate, by the way, and black men don't. Fundamentally, white men value a good black woman better than black men do. See, they won't come out and say it like that, not yet, but that is what they're saying. White men are more serious. White men value good black women more than black men do. Don't also miss the part where she speaks about these 50-50 relationships. And yeah, she did go into that struggle love direction. Oh, you better believe it. I hate to say it, right? It looks like they're struggling. When they say black relationship, it looks like they're struggling. What's the median income for white dudes? What? Sorry, not even median. What's the average income for white men? Like 50 grand, $50,000 a year, something like thereabout. But don't tell this lady right here. Promise y'all they just be talking. They're just talking. And it sounds good where they are. To just continuously throw black men under the bus, insult black men, belittle black men in comparison to white men. Speak about how these other men of other races, other backgrounds, other demographics take relationship more seriously, take women more seriously, take their life more seriously, unlike black men. But in this case, she really didn't say black men, now did she? Once again, insulting you by omission. She's saying your name, but she's not saying your name. Sneak dissing like a mug. Right? And Trell Bentley said 52K. So 52,000. So your average white man is earning. And remember, average means that the wealthy dudes are pulling that number up, because if we did median, you could cut that by what, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000. The uber wealthy dudes are pulling that number up. But if we listen to this young lady, these white guys are killing it at $52,000 a year, right? So let's be very clear. Mr. Z could care less about this woman advocating for black women to marry out. It's the sneak dissing black men that's the issue. It's the insulting black men by omission that's the issue. I could care less about the white penis propaganda campaign. The white penis worship propaganda campaign, I could care less about that. It's the, we got to end up with the white man because the black man is so horrible, that I have an issue with. Right? It's the regurgitating anti-black talking points and just couching it just a smidge, tiny bit different, that I have an issue with. Right? This needs to also be seen as the anti-black rhetoric that it is. Just because it's a supposed black woman or whatever her makeup is, speaking about a black man, quote unquote, does not mean that she's not engaging in anti-black propaganda. This is anti-black man propaganda. Right? And straight up, she's lying. If we're just going to call a thing, if we're just going to come up the middle, she's lying. She's straight up lying. Right? It sounds nice. Prove it. First, I want to see all these white folks you're babysitting for, or nannying for, or whatever you're doing. Then prove that they're all married. Prove that all your black homegirls are single, and prove that they're kick ass. Right? And to think these people think they're morally superior to us. Why they spit out vile anti-black male talking points and rhetoric. Right? Wow. Right? And this counts as like, what, entertainment for black adjacent ish women. She kind of threw Latinos under the bus too, if you didn't notice. So this is Mr. Z's argument. I continue to say, and I will continue to say, this is about white penis chase at the end of the day. At the end of the day, this is about the white penis chase. As I said when I walked in the door, this is not about what black men haven't done. What you haven't done was come out the womb a white man. A white boy? A white boy. Your ultimate sin. And the only way for you to make up for not coming out the womb white was for you to come out the womb rich. And then still, you still ain't white, but at least you're rich. It's a good consolation prize. For women like this. Huh. So she's just straight up lying. And there's so many of these videos on TikTok So, and I don't even have a TikTok, and I see these clips on YouTube of reels of just TikTok videos like this coming from black women. There's so many of these little videos on TikTok, right? And as Toya said, let's pause right here. Thank you for the super chat. And Toya says, hit the like button, hit like button on the way in, or hit like on the way in. There we go. What did Mr. Z, you put add a word to it? Hit like on the way in, everyone. And thank you, Toya. Thank you. Right. We covered this because people like this end up, and this is, I'm going to continue to speak as if it's not just the Black Manosphere listening, right? People like this, and she's working in these white folks' homes, if she's to be believed. You imagine when conversations like marriage and relationships come up, how she sounds in front of white folks? You don't see how dangerous this is? Right? Women like this are everyone. Everyone from your cashier at your local grocery store to the bank teller to a teacher to maybe possibly a professor. Right? Maybe a professor, maybe a principal. The manager at the fast food restaurant, the manager at a retail store. As I said before, thinking like this about black men. And as I maintain, the way these people feel about black men when it comes to relationships and intimacy, they can't leave it there. You go from being a horrible prospect in the relationship, dating, marriage world to being a horrible man, period. That's if we can even call you a man. I mean, you are black. It doesn't stop there. It starts there. Right? So of course I go at people like this. I review videos like this, of course. And once again, shout out to Gender Warlord, because women like this act like they're saying something harmless. It's actually very dangerous. Because this is not about preference, right? Look how she's speaking about her quote unquote homegirls or girlfriends or, you know, women that she knows, black women that she knows, who are saying, yeah, no, I just, you got to be a black man or nothing. And she's speaking about them like they're a charity case. Like, oh, there, bless your heart. Oh, you're waiting for black men. Oh, you're waiting for a black man. Oh, who's gonna tell her how horrible they? Who's gonna tell her? Right? Look at you. Ain't that cute? You're not mature enough yet. We live in the world where black women are straight up using white racist women talking points. Right? This is the white racist woman that was getting banged out by some black man in the 1960s saying, no, I marry white men. I just have sex with black men. Right? Oh, no, you're not supposed to. What? If you're serious, you're with a white man. Are you serious? Right? And we'll pause right here because I know I'm in a bit of a dead zone. Y'all give me 1 second. Mr. Z will be with y'all in a minute. Talk amongst yourselves. And we're back. Black Uru doing Black Uru in the comments. I'm reading. And I agree with this. And Black Uru says either she is lying about all those black women being exclusive with black men, or those black women are lying to her. Good point. Good point. Right. There was another comment that you had put here that I think said, and here we go. And Black Uru says we men need to fundamentally reevaluate modern so-called notions of female oppression. I think we will discover that most of that was necessary to keep the effing peace in families and communities. Black Uru, if you haven't listened to the conversation, the more recent conversation, like a couple of nights ago, between me and FD Signifier, that it pretty much circled around that. Y'all might have a couple of points, but by the way, that was the whole point of him bringing up his wife. For those of you that listened, that was the whole point, right? Of him bringing up his wife and bringing up, he might get jacked if he goes to the gas station late night, but he fears for her getting jacked and kidnapped. So yeah, what Black Uru said is what Mr. Z is saying, right? That part, right? That part. But they use this to kind of have this, like, right, like, hey, if I have an issue in the dating scene, it's definitely the men. It definitely couldn't be me. Me, I'm great, right? If me and my friends have a problem in the dating scene, it definitely couldn't be us as black women. Absolutely not. We're not insufferable. We're not snarky. We're not rude. Right? We don't have an attitude problem, right? And I know a lot of brothers that like this kind of look, that she has. The fact that you're single is a testament to the fact that you're probably insufferable yourself. She don't really do it for me, but I know a lot of brothers. This is that kind of look. They like this kind of the look that she has, right? That's their speed. And Venom K says it was weird. She said no, excuse me. It was weird. She says she knows they're going 50-50. Most relationships is both putting money in today. But look, man, ain't nothing. Look, somebody to sit down and tell these women what actually comes with equality and egalitarianism. Someone needs to sit down and tell them, shut the hell up about this mad about 50-50. Go home then. Quit your job and go home then. Like in mass numbers. We need at least 80% of women to quit their jobs, like today, like right now. So your man, oh, maybe you don't have one. Oops, you're bad. So your man can make double the income overnight. You quit overnight so that he can make double the income overnight. Absolutely insane. Maybe you got to read the fine print of what egalitarianism really means. And yeah, I caught that. And once again, that's that level up lifestyle, black woman in luxury crap. Right? God forbid a black woman gotta spend 50-50 with a black man, maybe a white man, because his white skin make up for the other half. God forbid a black woman gotta live 50-50 with a black man financially. Even if these signify we're trying to cut please with that. Right? And Dre, thank you for the super sticker. Thank you for the super sticker. It's absolutely insane how they're attempting to frame this. And quite frankly, no one would care. No one would care if you would stop insulting black men every time you want to go over there. Can you go over there and not insult black men? See, you can't. You know why you can't? Because you're assuming that every white person, every white man is anti-black, and you gotta attract them with the anti-black man rhetoric. I'm not even saying you're wrong about just about every one of them being anti-black. I ain't even gonna say you're wrong. We know why you saying what you're saying. You gotta prove to white zaddy that, hey, look, I don't like these Negroes neither. They're shiftless and lazy and wayward. I agree with you. I agree with you so much, I'll say it. Right? Huh. So you have this, you have other content creators. And remember, Mr. Z mainly covers other content creators that put out a lot of different stuff, you know, the Chrissies and the Yannies and whatnot. But there's a whole lot of these little, like, kind of one video went viral type women all across Instagram and TikTok and YouTube that make these kind of videos, either talking down on black men and actually have the ovaries to say their name, or bigging up white men in relationship to black men and doing what she did, which is pretty much insult us by omission, right? Belittle us by omission. And I'm guessing this is Phipps Deuce. I'm guessing that's how you, or Phipps this, well, Phipps Deuce. Okay. Anyway, thank you for the super chat. And he says, black women have babies with a small group of men, then blames all black men. Up, bro. You ain't saying nothing but a word. Anybody remember the case of the three brothers in Tennessee that had like what 70, 80 something children among all three of them? Wasn't the number rising too? Like there was like a story about it, and then I think somebody covered it maybe a couple years later, and they like I think all of them might have had more children at the time, the second time around, if not one or two of them. So yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. That's what's going on. Think about this. Imagine being black and you are listening to black women speak about black women in relationship with black men, and out their mouth is, yeah, I know they're struggling. And they're not making an economic argument, right? This is not Tone Talks or Yvette, right? No, it's, I mean, of course she's struggling. She's with a black man. And you know, they're bums. They're losers, right? She's with a black man. What do you expect? Right? Imagine that world. And I'm calling her black because we don't necessarily know her makeup, but she looked like black-ish, black adjacent, black mix something or another. So I'm just calling her black for now. We're not sure. We don't know, right? For the love of God, get out the lane. For the love of God, get out the lane. For the love of God, get out the lane. Get out the lane. Oh boy. Oh boy. All right, yo. Loser in the Lexus. And of course she's on her phone. Mr. Z's on his phone too, but Jesus Christ. And we're back. Right? But yeah. So I'm gonna continue to cover stories like this because number one, I need us to understand that people like this don't leave online, right? Just leave this. You don't know who they are. You don't know what they're doing in that. They could be a nobody. Yes, absolutely right. They could be an absolute no one. And on the other hand, they could have mad influence. Power, maybe not. And the way they think of men, black men, excuse me, does not just stay in this internet, call out black men and insult black men space. The virtue signaling for white men on the internet, they don't leave it there. The please come save me white zaddy on the internet, they don't leave it there. Right? The tucking themselves under white men's scrotum, they don't leave it there. On the internet, they don't leave it there. Right? Let's not forget, shout out to the Roger Report. He brought up something today earlier where he was speaking about, the stories that we heard back to back to back, it felt like a couple years ago of all these white guys, white police officers getting caught with racist, text messages, white men getting caught saying racist things. And like you look at these dudes, and like so many of them are in relationships with women of color, many of them black women. And there's absolutely no way those white guys express this at work and don't express it at home. Absolutely no way. Right? Now, when you couple that with the story that I covered, or that I actually have on my videos of the white man that got arrested for spitting on his black girlfriend because she wanted to play slave play sex and he didn't. Let's say that one more, Ginsey. She wanted to play slave play sex and the white man didn't. Say that one more, Ginsey, just in case. Black woman wants to play slave play sex. White man doesn't. They get into an altercation. He ends up spitting on her. When you couple that with many of these stories that we're hearing of white dudes getting in trouble at work or whatever for saying or doing something anti-black, then you find out he has been or he with. Is he the racist or are they the racists? Right? And then you got this young lady here sneak dissing black men. When you see a black woman pushing a baby stroller and you look to her side, and if she's in a relationship, she's with a white man, if you don't get the entire hell out of here. Somebody explain to me, when did white dudes just start jump skipping, flipping over, tying themselves? Loyalty, right? I was getting at also. It's black women's loyalty. And then the anti-blackness from white dudes and Latino dudes and Asian dudes, no, it's black women's loyalty. All of a sudden, white supremacy, anti-blackness stops at the edge of the white man's penis. That don't know no color. And actually, that's kind of true. Historically, that's kind of true. What about giving you his last name, though? Oops. I mean, he did once when you were property. Whenever I see these stories or watch this, especially from young people, right? People under the age of 30. I don't count it under the age of 30. Talk to me on the other side of 40 and let me see how many of y'all actually got the wedding ring from the white dude. How many of you are working on your second decade of marriage from the white dude? I don't want to hear about no oops babies. I don't want to hear about no proposals. None of it. Where's the wedding ring? We have a lower divorce rate. Yeah, where's the wedding ring? I've dated non-black men. Okay, yeah, so you got smashed by non-black men. Where's the wedding ring? I can go get me a white man, a Latino man, and an Asian man. Okay, whatever. Where's the wedding ring? Stop gaslighting or attempting to gaslight black men about these omnipotent non-black men. All of a sudden, Hector is not colorist no more because you want to insult black men. Get out of here. All of a sudden, Bartholomew III is not anti-black anymore because you want to lie to black men about how these white men are marrying white women left, right, and center. Y'all gotta get y'all story straight, because that's not what the white women are saying. Oops. Huh? Y'all gotta go have a conversation with white women so y'all can figure out which lies y'all want to keep and which lies y'all want to discard. Because when the white women start talking on TikTok, that's not what they're saying. So wait, you getting better? Wait, let me get this right, black women. You're getting better white men than the white women are? Is that where we are with it now? Huh? Is that what we're saying now? Right? Somebody's lying. Someone's lying. She see all these white couples and then she see black women single. That's actually true. But the marriage rate for white folks is falling off of the edge of a cliff. What are you talking about? I gotta look. No, that's gonna sound too stalkerish. This young lady, I wonder where she lives. Age of first-time marriages across the country are going up. It's going up. More young people not having children. More young people not getting married. That includes white and non-black folks. Right? Was it Morgan Stanley that told us somewhere between 2018 to 2030, 40 some odd percent of women are going to be single? That's women in general, not just black women. And yet this young lady's just talking, right? And y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. And RO says, and thank you for the super chat, women talk equality BS, but harshly discriminate against men living the full benefits of the soccer mom, housewife life. Equality is a damn scam. Talk about rhyming. Equality is a damn scam. It sounds like one of those don't do drugs like fake hip hop songs like in the 90s, in the early 90s. Crack is whack. Right? But you are right, it is a damn scam. They don't really mean it. And the parts of patriarchy they want to keep, they're going to rebrand it as something else. Can I have all the stuff I want about that with all the stuff I want about that? Can I have all the the stuff I like and want about patriarchy while having all the stuff about feminism I want? Like, look, I don't really care for like the hard work part of feminism. Like, I really don't care about that. I really don't care about like the 40+ hour work weeks, like the 50-hour work weeks. I really don't care about that. You could keep that part, right? The competing with men and potentially losing. I don't care for that, right? Like, if I'm gonna win, if I'm not gonna compete and be given it, yeah, I want that part. But can I have the paymaster part of patriarchy also? Right? Could I have the protector part? Something goes bump in the night, and some man just goes down the stairs and see what it is. For me, could I have that part of patriarchy also? Right. This has been a Mr. Z production brought to you by Everglades Wireless, where you're guaranteed to drop calls, drop signal, drop reception, and lose stream. Right? My God. Oh, I was just punching air right now. Train tracks, train tracks, train tracks. Oh, I was just punching air. Of course that happened. Of course it did. Of course it did. Now I'm still here, y'all. I'm still here. And my phone just refused to bring Hopefully you guys can hear me, right? Because I was trying to highlight this Black Uru's comment, and hopefully it's still up. And yeah, I can't even address RO's comment. RO, could you retype what you typed for the super chat, please? Because apparently StreamYards was like, yeah, I don't need you to continue streaming, right? But I'm still here. I'm still here, right? But Urban Reed, thank you. Like Urban Reed, exactly. Urban Reed says they make you ghetto even when you try not to be, bruh. And let's read Black Uru's comment. Okay, the light turned green, so can't read Black Uru's comment right now. But Mr. Z, what you got going on in your life right now? What you got going on? I don't know. Give me a second. I'm gonna read Black Uru's comment in a minute because I actually think this is a really good comment. Yeah, y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Uh, I was just punching air. I was hot, right? Because like where I was did not call for that. Like I was not in the area that's typically a dead zone, right? So yeah, I'm on a road that I'm used to. I'm on a, yeah, that just should have not happened. But Black Uru says a slick, and what is it? A slick white man would a slick white man could use racism to bang most the black women he encounters. All he has to do is work a kind of push-pull game using racism as the push and some phony talk of reconciliation as the pull. Hysterical and true. And that's what I was gonna say earlier. I think that's what DJ Pope was on. I think that's what DJ Pope was on, right? And what's the other one from Europe that was out here with black women too? It was another DJ out of Europe, DJ Diplo, right? Yeah, the white Mike. We all got a white Mike that we know, right? His family either refuses to move out the hood or they don't have the money to move out the hood. And so he grew up, you know, around black folks and, you know, sometimes he's cool, sometimes he's not. Either way, you find out he's had sex with black women, right? When he was underage and as an adult. Now, whether he ends up marrying one or not doesn't matter. He's had sex with them, right? So and it's women like this that oftentimes, you know, Armio Se Frimpong, the funky academic. If I'm not mistaken, he went to school in, was it San Francisco? I want to say San Francisco. I know it was Cali, but I want to say it was San Francisco. If I'm not mistaken, I think that's what he said, right? And he speaks about women like this, black women, right, who wake up after a divorce, after a couple of messed up children, and they have like this weird worldview. And I'm kind of adding extra to it. So I'm paraphrasing what he said, but I'm adding my extra to it. And they wake up pretty much being hit in the face with the fact that they're black women. But it's like the world didn't tell them until it crushed them, right? So they got to move about and talk and act like they're upper middle class white women until they got punched in the face with the fact that, yeah, you're not. And I look at this young lady, and you could tell that she's kind of reeling from like, why can't I have what she have? Which is exactly what I told FD Signifier a couple nights ago. That is the sentiment. Why can't I have what she has? That is what this young lady is expressing to us in so many words. And it's like I said, it's as if these leftists like FD Signifier are waiting for them to literally say it the way I just said. Why can't I have what she has? That is not how they're going to frame it. They're going to frame it like this young lady. It's very interesting attempting to reframe things that are flattering to these particular women. But then when they say things like this, you don't understand how to frame it to get to what they're really saying. Listen to what she's saying. Whether it's a lie or not, listen to what she's saying. The white women are married. I see pictures of wedding anniversaries on refrigerators, et cetera, and the black women are all single. And I'm telling them to expand their options. Why should we have to be single? We're all kick ass and great. Translation, I want what she has. Why can't I have what Karen has? Why can't I have what Becky has? Why can't I have what Miss Ann has? Right? And that's what this young lady's saying. Why can't I have what she has? And look at that. And Indigo says, had a white Mike in my circle in the suburbs, though. He married the female equivalent of a white Mike. Seen that. Definitely seen that before. This is such a correct comment, right? Why can't I have what Becky has without the work to get it? And the very important part is without the work to get it, because Becky didn't work to get it. But Becky's ancestors raped, pillaged, conquered, and enslaved to put her in the position to have things without working for them, right? Huh. So when I tell FD Signifier that these people's issue with black men is that we're not the ones who went around the planet, raped, pillaged, conquered, and enslaved, this only proves my point. And RO says, and thank you for the super chat, black women use the excuse of getting the bag to be with white men because they know that it is the one area they can hide their true intent that black men can't refute. You know, how am I going to address this? Huh. The being, look, the issue isn't black women being with white men on its surface. Now we understand why they really want to go over there. I could care less. I could care less even if they want to go for the bag. I understand what country we live in. I understand that this is still and I heard what Hot Sauce was saying earlier, but let me call it what it is. A white neo-colonial settler state. I understand that. I understand how media and education didn't work on the quote unquote lesser people um and get them to buy into the system with trinkets um and indicators that you too could kind of sort of somewhat maybe possibly not really be white, right? I get that. And I can understand the lure of that for black women, right? Non-black women excuse me, non-white women, but black women specifically. You couple that with decades of direct to your child's brain um consumerism, right? And it is very clear and evident why women, particularly younger Xer, millennial, and Gen Z women, sound the way they do. It is conspicuous consumption meets relationships, right? Meets intimacy. Okay, understandable. the issue we have is the negative propaganda and PR directed towards black men as a quote unquote excuse to end up not with any non black man, but with white men specifically. Right? That's when we get into an issue, right? And Black Uru says Becky also helped white men to ensure and fool black women into ensuring black men would not be able to give black women the bag. Exactly. Right? And so when I cover Dr. Richard Reeves, and he frames it differently, obviously, Brookings Institute researcher, um, he frames it differently as a more left leaning Brookings Institute researcher. It's exactly what Black Uru said. Like, if you listen to him speak, he says everything me and Black Uru are saying, but he frames it differently. But he'll tell you, like, at one point we were 13 points this way with men in college and university. Now we're 15 points that way. When you reframe that, so y'all taking the opportunities and giving it to the women. He'll say, labor participation for men is either stagnant or it's went down a couple of points, but labor participation for women is up, let's say 40%. So you taking the jobs and you giving it to the women, right? He's framing it differently, but he's saying the same thing we're saying. Using women as the buffer class. In our case, using black women as the petite bourgeoisie, or the petite bourgeois, better yet. Bourgeoisie is more like, French or Creole or, but the petite bourgeois, essentially using black women as the buffer class between white folks and black men. Right? Huh. So it's exactly what Black Uru said. And yet you have black women who colluded with white racist men and women to screw you so they can move up one notch on the ladder and take your place on the ladder, then turn around and complain about you and the white man. Oops. Because be very clear, black women's complaint is for you, black man, and the white man. You didn't rape and pillage and conquer and destroy the world for her. And then the white man, even though ain't I a woman, even though I worked my ass off to be next to you, to be adjacent to you, just to be close to you, shout out to the Commodores. Right? You still won't put me on the pedestal, though. You still won't put me on the pedestal. Black women's gripe right there. You know? You know who else has spoken to this once? Crimson Cure. Right? And RO says, and thank you for the super chat. Black women want to be white women like them or replace them. Exactly. But here is the thing. In the history of the world, white women never betrayed their men like black women did. Gotta. Yeah. Hey, Lionel Richie did say girl at the end real hard, though. Whole song sound like orgasm. I'm just saying. Right? But yeah, they haven't. White women didn't. And I would argue black people could be in a way better place. And this young lady wouldn't maybe be here doing the negative PR about black men, hoping and praying and wishing and insulting black men by omission to hopefully get a white zaddy to pay her attention and save her from her own life, right? So I'm going to continue to cover these. We're coming to a close, you guys. Um, Not because we care about these women and them, seeking white men and scraping and begging, hoping and wishing and praying for white men, right? That's not the issue. It's the insulting black men, speaking negatively about black men to hopefully get one of these white men to save you from yourself, right? Huh. And not a little light skinned, kind of racially ambiguous, mixed looking chick out here talking crap about black men, right? Everywhere you go is white couples, and then when you see a black woman pushing a stroller and she looks happy and she there's a white man next to her, where are all these mixed couples? Somebody got to explain this to me. Where, because everywhere you go with these kind of weirdo wannabe swirler divester chicks, everywhere you go everywhere I go, I see more black women with white men. Well, more recent marriage data don't say that it spiked any. What are we missing? Because the black men in the black manosphere are all around the country. Y'all seeing something I don't see? Maybe it's somewhere in the on the West Coast. All y'all brothers in Cali, y'all see a whole bunch of right. Y'all see a whole bunch of black women with white and Latino dudes. And y'all give me a second. Paramedic, right? Exactly, Black Uber. I know. And Black Uber is lying. I know. And G says fat Latino dude sometimes. Nema says some might be cohabitating. I think some of that is cohabitation. I agree with you, and I definitely and I definitely agree with G on this one. Fat Latino dudes, right? I definitely agree with G on that. Hysterical, right? But I don't want to over focus on divestors. Less FD signifiers say we do way too much focusing on divestors over here. That's Z. That's me. Not a black manosphere thing. It's a Mr. Z thing. Hey, Black Uru, I thought it, right? And Black Uru says she's talking about she and other black and non-white women nannies giving BJ so white husbands to white husbands in the laundry room. That's what they call dating. Uh-oh. Anybody want to say Arnold Schwarzenegger's side chick? Oops. Nanny. Oops. Mother of his youngest child. Yikes. I already told y'all I'm about to end out. I already told y'all about the more senior lady that called in the Gus T Renegade years ago. Whoa, forever ago. And she said, "Y'all don't know what these black women are doing in these offices with these white dudes." Yeah, she bust sisters out. That was a black woman busting out other black women for what they doing with these white attorneys and executives. Right? And office managers, etc., and just the random ass white dude in the office. And to go sit that in-house. That was the real in-house. All this person nigga had the in-house. Right? I said this too. I said this too, Black Uru. I say this all the time. And Black Uru says, "You mean the kid who looks more like Arnold than the other kids he had with his ex-wife?" Haha. Yeah, he looks more like Arnold than the quote unquote legitimate son does. If there's a God, he definitely has a sense of humor. Right? Because isn't that one of the sayings? The side baby always looked more like the man than any of the other kids. Isn't that a saying that we have? Right? You imagine. And RO says, and then we get end out. White women never interfere with white men worldwide domination. Never. She supported and helped him. True. Black women, however, annihilated black men at every chance of domination. Bruh. If there's something to be said about this, especially now, especially in our current environment, right? Especially in our current environment. And if you need a recent example, I don't think you don't get any better than My Brother's Keeper. I think My Brother's Keeper, if there was any black man sleep after My Brother's Keeper, that's because you literally hit the alarm with a hammer. That's why you still sleep. You still sleep because you took your timer and you hit it with a hammer. Right? Huh. And on that note, everyone, gotta make an abrupt stop. Y'all already know. All right, everyone. Like, share, subscribe, hit the thank you button for the replay squad. We will pause right here. Love, peace, and chicken grease. We covered this today to be like Exhibit A, right? This propaganda. This is not even like a card. Well, not she is a card carrying scroller and divester. But this is not even one of these content creators that keep on making this type of stuff. There's so many of these kind of weirdo videos on YouTube, but definitely on TikTok, right? And so we cover this to speak about the negative PR campaign against black men. It's not her white worship, although that is a problem. It's the white worship coupled with the defecating on black men without really saying their name. And thanks for being here, Black Wood. Thanks for being here, right? No, Neymar, I'm not in the drive-thru. Right, and we'll pause right here. Truly, y'all have a great rest of y'all day. Y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content, for the love of God. And what, like FD said, go touch grass. Right. Yeah, brothers in the Black Manosphere are living real lives. I don't know what he's talking about. Anyway, all right, everyone. Y'all have a great rest of y'all day. Mr. Z out.